Historians may well record that the use of the word Biafra to get self-determination has been the biggest scam of the 21st century. Those pulling it off are banking on several things: a population that does not like to read, emotionalism, and corruption. By reading, one would have learned that the word Biafra does not meet the required criteria when it comes to obtaining self-determination and thus escape being swindled. The Montevideo Convention of the Rights and Duties of States lists the four criteria for self-determination as 1. A permanent population, 2. A defined territory, 3. Government, 4. The capacity to enter into relations with other states. Since there is no defined territory for Biafra, it fails all the other 3 criteria too. The most vocal of the groups falsely promising to bring about freedom and self-determination through the word Biafra is the indigenous people of Biafra. Going by their activities, this group is actually a gang or street gang that uses threats and deadly violence against its members and members of the public. That makes IPOB a significant hindrance and a danger to Igbos who are seeking a free society where they can also live in safety. IPOB carry out planned deception in order to make money from others with the promise of Biafra restoration that involves manipulating pictures and video footage to make it look as if there is activity going on. They are quite amateurish looking photographs of IPOB leaders available on the internet with obviously fake backgrounds, plus their members abroad visit government buildings as tourists, then claim that they had meeting with officials and diplomats. Earlier this year, Ilana Omodua, the Yoruba Self-Determination Organization and a key member of the Ninas movement, issued a disclaimer to state that they were not in any working relationship with IPOB or its leader. That was in response to posters with photos showing the IPOB leader with 2 Yoruba leaders, making it seem they were coming together for a rally in a European city. Being fake activities is one thing, but being a violent gang is quite something else. That is what should mostly concern Igbos, because the presence of this gang in their midst, if a stop is not put to their antisocial and violent activities, would mean not self-determination at all, but a society ruled by fear and violence, as Igbos are already seen with IPOB sit at home enforced by threats and actual reports of deadly violence. This is why it is baffling that World Igbo Congress would support a gang like IPOB, identified in the influential U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom Annual Report 2020, page 27, as one of the violent groups causing concern in Nigeria. In January 2021, World Igbo Congress took out a notice in the Nigerian Guardian newspaper where they stated, recently and through various news media, we have come to learn about the Eastern Security Network, ESN. This is another name for IPOB that is designed. My emphasis to provide additional security protection. At the time, there had been several dissenting voices. The main criticisms were that IPOB ESN was solely and remotely controlled by the IPOB leader based in Britain, and there was already a community vigilante system which could be better reinforced to provide improved security. We can also add that since ESN members are unknown, they are not vetted, no police checks were done on them, and being unknown, what they are capable of doing is actually unknown. That creates confusion. Plus, it gives them cover to hide from taking responsibility for their activities. It is true that there is a real deadly menace from armed Fulani, and Igbo communities must protect themselves from their attacks. However, WIC, World Igbo Congress, whose members are in safety, mainly based in America and Europe, where it is unheard for unknown gunmen to become any security, should explain why they support such a thing in Igbo land, and that begs the question: Were there any inducements to do so? Equally importantly, IPOB claims to be working for self-determination. What work did World Igbo Congress see in order to give IPOB and its leadership credibility that led to supporting their ESM? The methods used by IPOB are far removed from what one expects from a genuine self-determination organization, which would be being courteous and approachable. Rather, IPOB exhibits the characteristics of a gang. IPOB are known for internet banging. They use social media platforms, e.g. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and their internet radio to make threats and incite violence that has led to reports of people being killed and property destroyed. In addition, they carry out repeated victimization of those who criticize them by using vulgar language, insults, and threats, making their presence easily identifiable on social media sites. Being a gang, they use fear to keep their members in check. Those who left IPOB or got arrested by law enforcement report that there is hold taking, occult fetish practices, and when labeled a saboteur, it can lead to torture and maiming, including full castration and lynching, burning alive. IPOB has yet to provide verifiable evidence of the Biafra restoration work they claim to have done. What is now clear from the killings, destruction of property, and sit-at-home commands is that fear is what IPOB has to offer Igbos. The power that IPOB has over Igbos is in the word Biafra. It is the emotions created by that word that IPOB latch onto. Then they use deceit and fear to control people. Fortunately, there is a way to be set free. It is by putting aside the word Biafra and replacing it with the word self-determination. Igbos can therefore achieve freedom using the word self-determination like Yoruba and other ethnic nations are doing. Fortunately too, the Lower Niger Congress, the self-determination organization for Southeast Igbos and South has already done most of the work, and it is now at combined stage 14 and 15 out of 16 stages. Thus, through the Ninas movement, a joint action alliance with the Yoruba and Middle Belt, Igbos can get the self-determination they have been struggling for since 1966. Finally, in part 3, the desolate place that the word Biafra is likely to take Igbo nation to, if not set aside, will be discussed. Okay, this article is coming from Ndidi Uwechwe. Ndidi Uwechwe is a British citizen with Igbo heritage from the Lower Niger block. She's a retired Metropolitan London police officer. She's a signatory to the Constitutional Force Major, and she writes from Abuja. So guys, let's hear your opinion concerning what she has said.